give these guys free reign on wallart. Free reign.
Yep, all free reign, man. I know these guys. I know Finn, of course, personally. So way beyond trust. I need your expertise.
So it's like repetition of those three patterns, like stainless design. You know, like coming bad on the edges.
I was thinking about well, we had talked about some of those pattern things earlier.
It's been modified to make it original. I mean, that's a little space. I know I call it color blocking. I've heard it called other stuff. So I'm just going to fill the entire area with a solid color. It's faster than using spray paint, and it doesn't waste as much paint. So then once I've filled in this entire area as well as these other ones, I'll come back with spray paint and start rendering everything from there. And that's where I'm going to be adding in the detail. So it's a time-saving thing, basically, that just gets to the next step quicker.
It doesn't have to be yellow, I think. Some yellow in there, like separate. You're doing anything else.
Yeah. No, yellow was one color I had mentioned to Ben the other day.
See that garbage right there?
If it's kind of like, a light, I don't want to say creamy yellow, but not like a vivid yellow. I think that might, with maybe like a little more vivid right behind her, because she's so gray at the moment.
Yep. And then, make it probably 6 or 8 inches of glow around here, and then when it meets the hair, just fuzz it with white, you know what I mean? So it's like a white and then a yellow behind that.
That glow
To give it more
on her would be sickening.
So you're thinking the hair is, the upper parts of the hair are going to be done in the same
stuff.
Okay, perfect.
Probably not as intense. It'll probably get more black and then fade more into that, to the highlights.
I'm cool with the color. I mean, feel it out as you go, but I think a little bit of color is good.
Right.
I like the yellow.
So as far as the background, the yellow glow, like how does that? How do you balance that out? I mean, you don't want to go too dark, but it has to be dark enough.
Man, I knew I should have brought the color back. But you need yellow so that it doesn't attract all the color that's over here. A slightly more vivid yellow near her to pop the face out, but not take away from the color that's going to be in the hair.
So you don't want to get too dark. You want to be somewhere in the middle, but not too bright. Are you anti-purple or pro-purple?
I think for this it doesn't help the competition. I just think that, especially with the pinks in the hair, it's pinks in the flower, that's pink and purple are too close to one another.
That's exactly what you're saying.
No, that one is more the best. I mean, originally I was thinking more monochromatic. I'm still thinking that, but I kind of want to know what the background's going to be before I work on any of that.
How much more you got on the gems? Are you going to layer more
The
highlights and
shadows.
stuff on?
The shadows and a couple of highlights. But I need to, again, figure out what's in the background before I start. I mean, I could do the shines and stuff, but they're all blocked in for the most part.
So you were saying Alien?
Alien is made by the Spanish Montana company, and it was their first low pressure attempt at spray paint. Low pressure is generally easier to do really subtle fades and really detailed work with. Their first line was the hardcore paint, which was gloss and it came out fast, but it had nice colors and it covered really well. And now they've introduced a product line called 94, which is matte paint and low pressure, but 12-ounce cans as opposed to the little mini guys.
Yeah.
And it's good stuff all around, but different uses. That stuff's much better for doing, like I said, detailed work. So it's nice to have that ability to change caps as well as be more versatile with the amount you press down and how much paint it releases, and the low pressure really helps with that. A lot of artists learn with the high pressure paint that if you let out when you have the very end of the can, it's very low pressure and it's really easy to do lines and make them perfect. So a lot of artists would let half the pressure or something out of the can, and you lose paint that way that you can never use, but you gain a lot of ability to control it. So I think that's what this is a direct result of. It's good stuff.
Alien art.
Yep.
Montana.
Spanish Montana.
Spanish Montana
That's
brand.
the Montana Gold, which they make black and white as well, and that's German.
Elliot, I noticed you got some 94. He mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Want to tell me a little bit about what you're using? I don't know if you got anything to add on.
I use mostly, obviously, the 94 and the Montana Gold. My preference is the Montana 94. They're the original graffiti artist specific spray paint. The only thing that Montana Gold has on 94 is I think Gold has a wider variety of colors. So the variance between the different oranges and greens and reds and blues is a little wider, where 94 is a little less of a variance. But the 94 has a better overall product as far as can control and pressure in the can, just all that good stuff. But depending on what the application is, I usually just go between Montana Gold and Montana 94.
Do you use Krylon anymore?
Nah, man. Man, shit, man. I haven't used Krylon since high school, bro. Well, I mean, even after, Krylon was obviously, back in the day, when we were young, it was the primary go-to. But then, right after high school, towards the end of high school, Rust-Oleum kind of took over that spot. And but 94, the Montanas is no comparison, man. I mean, they just kind of, and honestly, Rust-Oleum, Krylon, they didn't want us using their shit anyway. So, graffiti artists, Montana 94, the Spain Montana was made by and for graffiti artists. So, they made a good product and just kind of gave us a better route. But, you gotta have respect for Krylon, though. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like Ultra Flat Black, Aqua Turquoise, and, all that good shit. That Sunshine Yellow and all that good shit.
Right.
But, oh, my bad, bro.
Sorry, y'all good? How y'all been?
Good, thank you.
Hey, you know what the key to success is?
I noticed you got a big ass healthy bag of
caps?
caps.
Yeah, man. The best, you start talking about, back in the day to now, man. And, Fred, I know you could probably, appreciate this shit too. Back in the day, you go steal your caps. You know what I'm saying? You go to the dollar store, get your your fat caps and your skinny caps and shit. Now, man, they make a cap for everything. Your misting, your hard lines, your fat fill-ins, your really thin lines. There's probably, I don't know, what, 15, 20, at least 15, 20 different caps. More than that, yeah. And each brand has its own line of caps.
That's why I say it's cool.
Yeah. And there's some of them are interchangeable, but if you use that brand's caps with that line, it works better. And Montana 94 and or Spanish Montana and German Montana, they both have very good lines of caps. They both do a good job with the caps. But as many art like brushes that are at an art store these days, that's how many fucking caps you got. So I try to, whenever I paint anything, I try to keep a variety of everything just in case.
Wow.
Fred could probably tell you I overpack on a regular.
And the problem with the new low pressure paint is the caps clog way more.
Yeah.
So it's not forcing as much paint through, so they just build up. So you end up wasting a lot more on this low pressure paint, but it's a trade off. I'd rather sacrifice a couple of caps and get a really nice product than have the same cap that I started with and have a less detailed or whatever piece of art. So
keep running or something.
Trade off.
Yeah, you don't get the runs and stuff no more, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, and there's these guys from New York, Cap Matches Color. They just came out with a book really recently, and their whole thing is like talking about the history of spray paint and how it relates to graffiti and just in general. I mean, it's Americana, but they just recently released, I forget, it's the Big Wally and the Jif, I think, and they are meant to look and feel exactly like caps that would have been racked from Wally Wall Washer and Jif Oven Foam. I think that's pretty awesome. And now you can buy retro caps that are made in 2015.
Dude, the oven foam joints.
That's like they just and they're like fat.
Yeah, the oven foam joints were the fat one. Yeah, I love those, man.
I just bought their book. I'm excited to go through the whole thing. I gotta keep that. Hardcover, really nice paper.
Really?
Thick.
Yeah,
it's a nice book.
So
those are my favorite caps to rack. They had the little grooves going around them. I love those. It's always been available. It's easier to find those oven cleaner joints.
it took to get your can control together?
Every day is a struggle, bro. Every day is a struggle. Since we're a little older, so we don't pay